I want to encourage somebody today that it's not too late and you're not too old. It's not over. So I was getting ready for bed last night, and I just heard the Lord speak to me and say, it's not too late. You're not too old. It's not over. And I was like, okay, Lord. And so I started thinking about some things that happened in my life. And I was just like, okay, the Lord promised me so many things, and it took a while for a lot of it to come to pass, many of which I'm still waiting for, but I'm still believing, I'm still hoping. And I started thinking like, okay, Father, where are we going with this? And he just said it's not too late. So for the person who's listening, it's not too late for you. You're not too old. I don't know what God has spoken over you. At 43 years old, let me tell you, I was not expecting to have a child. I was not expecting God to do a miracle in my body, and especially not the way he did it. But let me explain that I am so glad that God did. I cannot even imagine my life without my 1 year old. And had God done that earlier, when I was in my 20s, when I had my other two children, my husband and I would have just been happy at that time. But God chose to wait for this time in our lives. We don't have to understand why. We don't have to question. But I do know that it was a part of the plan and purpose that God had for my life. The Lord waited until I was 43 because that's a time where my body was just in so much pain, so much turmoil from my 20s, from the medical problems that I was having, from all of those tumors. And he waited for the time when they said, no, we're going to remove it all, so he could show himself strong and be glorified in my life. And so I want you to know that if you are waiting, it's because God is going to show up. He's going to do something big, and he's going to be glorified in your life, where people are going to be able to look at you and know that it was not you. It had to be God. And don't worry, you're going to have people question, oh, it could have happened to anybody. That's just a fluke. People get pregnant all the time in their 40s. Yes, they do. But people don't get pregnant all the time in their 40s with the medical conditions that I had. People haven't been through all of what you've been through, where God's going to still deliver you. God's going to still show up. God's still going to get the glory in your life. So if you've been waiting for a long time, it's not too late. It's not over. You are still here. God is still going to bring glory through your life to exemplify him. And I know that you are waiting for it. I know that you've been praying for it. I know that you've been believing for it. Your time is not over. Remember what was spoken over your life. If God said it, it is surely going to come to pass at the right time. God said in Isaiah 60:22, he, the Lord, is going to make it happen. So just trust him. Don't doubt. Don't get discouraged. I know it can be hard sometimes while we're going through. We're like, my God, Lord, when are you going to show up? But let me tell you, when you least expect it, God is going to do the impossible. If he has promised it, it is going to come to pass in your life. It's not over. You're not too old. You haven't done too much. You can question what you did in your past. Maybe this is why this has been held up. Maybe it was delayed, but it's not over. It's not over. Your time is coming. Be blessed today in Jesus' name.